My girlfriend screamed, "You're too clingy, give me space." Because I asked where she was at 3 a.m. I said, okay. I blocked her number, packed my stuff while she slept, and moved to another state without a word. 3 years later, she found me, and in everything in my life that I had tried so damn hard to bury clawed its way back to the surface, like someone prying open a wound you pretended wasn't there. I hadn't thought about Emily in years, not in any meaningful way. Not after the way she pushed me away, not after the way she treated affection like it was some desperate plea for attention instead of something I offered sincerely. That night, when she came home at 3 a.m. smelling like bar smoke and someone else's cologne, and I asked her, calmly, honestly, almost pathetically, where she'd been, I didn't expect her to explode like that. She yelled, "You're too clingy, Aaron. God, give me space. You're suffocating me," while stumbling into bedroom like I was a problem, like my only crime was caring. And something in me finally snapped. Not violently, not dramatically, but quietly, the way a rope finally breaks after years of strain. I remember watching her fall into bed, mascara smudged, shoes still on, muttering something about how I was lucky she even came home at all. And I don't know what got into me. Maybe exhaustion, maybe clarity. But I grabbed my duffel, shoved whatever I could into it, took the cash I'd been saving for a trip she had never had time for, and I left. No yelling, no tears. Just the door closing softly behind me. By sunrise, I was crossing the state line into Colorado with a half-charged phone and a heart that felt like a hollowed-out attic. I got a job in a small outdoor gear shop, rented a tiny basement studio, and tried to learn how to be a person again. And honestly, life slowly became okay. I made friends. I hiked. I breathed without feeling like I needed someone's permission. I even met someone gentle, someone steady. Her name was Lauren, and for the first time in forever, I wasn't walking on glass. But then, 3 years later, on a Tuesday morning of all days, while I was stocking climbing shoes in the store, I heard a voice I hadn't heard since the night I vanished. Erin. It was soft, tentative, like she wasn't sure she deserved to say my name. I froze. I knew that voice even though I wished I didn't. I turned, and there she was. Emily, older, thinner, different but painfully familiar. She looked like regret, wearing human skin. My chest tightened, not with longing but with dizziness. Because why the hell was she here? How did she even find me? She gave this tiny, trembling smile and whispered, "I've been looking for you." And I wish I could say I felt nothing, like all the healing had built some perfect emotional armor. But the truth is, seeing her was like stepping into an old house you escaped from, one that still smelled like mold and shame. And then she said the words that made my stomach twist. "I need to talk to you. It's important." I told her I didn't think that was a good idea. I told her I had moved on, that she should too, but she shook her head and insisted. Tears already gathering even though I felt none rising for her. I don't know why I agreed. Closure maybe, or morbid curiosity, or just human weakness. But we ended up at a coffee shop down the street. She sat across from me, wringing her hands like she was fighting with the ghost of who she used to be. She said she was sorry, genuinely sorry, that she had been selfish, immature, drunk too often, and cruel without even understanding the damage she was doing. She told me she never cheated, but she admitted she liked the attention from other people because she was scared I'd realize I deserved better. She confessed she'd been going to therapy, trying to fix the mess she'd made of herself. I listened without interrupting, letting her words float in the air like ash from a burnt-down house. And then she told me why she had tracked me down. "I found the letters," she said, and it took me a second to even remember what she meant. The letters I wrote during the relationship but never gave her. The ones where I poured out every insecurity she had carved into me. She said she found them in a box when she moved apartments. She read every one. She cried through them. She realized she had broken someone who only ever wanted to love her. I didn't know what to say. Part of me felt vindicated. Another part angry she had the audacity to show up now, years later. And then she said something that made my whole world tilt. "I want to fix things. I want another chance." I laughed, a short, humorless sound that surprised both of us. I told her it wasn't possible. that I wasn't the man she left behind, that she wasn't the woman I once waited up for like an idiot. But she begged, quietly, desperately, not dramatically like the old Emily. She said she wanted to make amends, even if it took years. She said she never stopped thinking about me. She said seeing the empty space in her life where I used to be made her realize what she'd lost. And I swear, for a moment, a dangerous nostalgia tried to creep in, whispering about the good days, the early days, the illusions we both clung to. But then I remembered the nights I spent alone while she was out, needing space. The way she mocked my feelings. The way she made me apologize for wanting basic respect. I told her no, firmly, calmly, like closure sealing itself shut. But that wasn't the end, because a week later, she showed up again, this time outside my apartment. Lauren was inside. Emily didn't know that. She just stood there in the cold like someone waiting for a miracle to arrive. She said she just wanted to talk one more time. And maybe I should have shut the door and walked away. Maybe I should have protected the peace I had built. But I stepped outside, letting the door close behind me, leaving Lauren unaware of the storm brewing 3 feet away. Emily looked up at me with eyes full of something I can't name. Regret, hope, punishment. Maybe all three. She handed me a small box. Inside was a key, the key to the apartment we once shared, and a letter written in her uneven handwriting. She whispered, "This is everything I should have said back then." Then she walked away before I could respond. I didn't open the letter immediately. I didn't want her to have that power again. But that night, after Lauren fell asleep, I sat alone in the kitchen and unfolded it. It wasn't manipulative. It wasn't dramatic. It was honest in a way Emily had never been. She wrote about being insecure, about pushing away the only person who ever stayed. She wrote about waking up the morning after I left and realizing she was alone, truly alone, for the first time. She wrote that losing me was a consequence she deserved but regretted every day. And then, in the last paragraph, she wrote something that hit me harder than I wanted to admit. "I don't expect forgiveness. I don't expect anything. But please know I am better because you love me. I just wasn't ready to receive it. I hope the next person you love gives you everything I never could. You deserve more than the broken pieces I handed you." I sat there for a long time, not crying, not angry, just still, because maybe this was the closure I never got. Maybe this was the last chapter in a story I should have ended myself years ago. The next morning, I burned the letter in the sink, not out of hatred, but out of release. I told Lauren everything, every detail, every mistake, every ghost. She didn't get angry. She didn't accuse me. She just held my hand and said, "You don't owe your past anything, Aaron." And that was the moment I finally believed it. Emily hasn't contacted me since. I think that's for the best. Some people are meant to love you only in their memories, not in your life. And I learned something I wish someone had told me years ago. The right person never punishes you for caring. They don't scream at you for wanting honesty. They don't make you feel clingy for loving them. And they damn sure don't make you run away in the middle of the night to finally feel free.